But when you're building on top of protocols, that's when there's new attack vectors. And once these protocols evolve, that's when different attack vectors come in.
And I mean, you mentioned there's the evolving attack vectors. You know, if those attack vectors affect everybody that's involved in the space, and I think that's something that people don't appreciate as much until after the fact. Kind of like we were saying a little bit earlier. Where do you see where are you seeing the highest priority at the moment for security and the need for y'all services that's maybe not appreciated as much?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. I think at the level of security, when we're thinking about Web3, a lot of people think about protocol level security, right? And that's important, but when you're building on top of protocols, that's when there's new attack vectors. And once these protocols evolve, that's when different attack vectors come in. When you're connecting more protocols and blockchains together and looking at a multi-chain feature, even more abilities for entry. So I think for us, it's really important to continue to support these best practices, publish research from our incredible blockchain security research team, and ensure that we're getting out new upgrades to the community as these protocols evolve, and we're working closely hand in hand with these protocols to advise on their changes. It's really about ensuring that we're elevating the quality of content that's out there as well. There's again, it's an extremely new space, so every time there's an innovation, there's a multitude of attack vectors that can arise. So our job,
the more complex it gets, the easier it is to break.
The more complexity, exactly. And for all intents and purposes, blockchain started out as simple as possible, and we're continuing to add complexity, which is extremely important to get to these use cases that bring on the next billion, as we're all talking about in this current age.
Do you think most people, to kind of get to that point, do you think people will see it, or do you think it's seamless? What does that look like for you?
That's a great question. One of my favorite comments when we're talking about where we're at in this space, I say, when you use Ethereum, you're using Ethereum, right? You're very aware. It's not on accident. And so I think once we get to that phase where you didn't know, right, where it's seamless, where, my mom, she's a linguistics professor, she's brilliant, but tech isn't her thing, right? When she's interacting with Ethereum, when she's getting an NFT and she doesn't know that it's, maybe it just has a little powered by, that's what I feel like is when we'll have gotten to the next phase. But for now, it is still a high barrier to just interact. And, to just do something like social media. We're still connecting the pieces that'll enable you to do that decentralized. But in a lot of ways, it is still growing and scaling and has high either barriers to entry, whether it's cost or user experience, and oftentimes both.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. We had a great time here at Consensus. At the Texas Blockchain Council, we are striving to be the nexus between traditional industries, banking, finance, legal, energy, and the digital asset industry. So we want to help you get your brand in front of those kinds of companies with B2B opportunities. Reach out to us if that's of interest for membership or for sponsorship at the summit. Hope to see you there in November in Fort Worth. Thanks again. We look forward to seeing you at the summit.